People respond to the reward in front of them. So the moment a metric becomes the goal, behavior begins to shift away from the thing the metric was meant to protect. At first, this looks like a people problem. A company measures customer service speed and staff rush through calls. A school measures test scores and lessons narrow toward the exam. A manager measures output and employees produce more visible work, even when the important work needs patience. The easy explanation is that people are lazy, cynical, or trying to cheat. Sometimes that is partly true, but it misses the more useful mechanism. Most metrics are not the thing we care about. They are a proxy. Speed is not service. Test. Scores are not learning. Completed tasks are not judgment. The metric is chosen because the real goal is harder to observe directly. That creates a quiet trade-off. Before the measurement exists, people balance many signals: quality, reputation, judgment, peer, respect, long-term outcomes. Once the measurement becomes tied to rewards, promotions, funding, or punishment, one signal becomes louder than the rest, and people adapt, not always dishonestly. Often they adapt rationally. If the system says speed matters most, slower, careful work starts to look like failure. If the system rewards visible activity, invisible thinking becomes risky. If the system praises numbers without asking what produced them, the safest move is to improve the number. The failure begins when the organization confuses easier measurement with better understanding. A metric can reveal reality, but once people know they are being judged by it, the metric also changes reality. It stops being only a thermometer, it becomes part of the weather. That is why incentive systems often backfire. The visible problem is bad behavior. The deeper problem is a reward system that taught behavior where to go. The moment a proxy becomes valuable, it attracts effort. That is the mechanism behind metric optimization. Metric optimization sounds technical, but the idea is simple. People do not optimize the mission as written in a handbook. They optimize the part of the mission that affects their day. If a call center rewards short calls, workers may solve simple problems quickly and push complex ones elsewhere. If a delivery system rewards speed alone, drivers may prioritize the clock over care. If a platform rewards attention, creators learn what keeps people watching, even when the best information would be slower and less dramatic. The metric did not merely record behavior, it changed the payoff structure around behavior. This is why bad incentive systems can produce results that look absurd from the outside. Inside the system, each step can feel reasonable. One person cuts a corner because the corner is not measured. Another avoids a difficult case because difficult cases damage performance scores. Another focuses on easy wins because easy wins make the dashboard look healthy. No single person has to be villainous. The system selects for the behavior it can count. There is a useful warning often associated with economist Charles Goodhart. When a measure becomes a target, it can stop being a good measure. Not because measurement is useless, measurement is powerful. The problem is that power changes the thing being measured. A clean proxy works best when people are not strongly rewarded for manipulating it. Once the stakes rise, the proxy becomes a game. People learn the rules, find the loopholes, and shift effort toward whatever the rules recognize. The deeper lesson is not never measure. Without measurement, organizations drift. The lesson is that measurement creates gravity. It pulls attention, effort, and imagination toward itself. And once enough people reorganize around the metric, the original goal may become harder to see than before. The most dangerous metric traps do not fail immediately. At first, the numbers may improve. That is what makes them persuasive. Faster service looks efficient. Higher output looks productive. More engagement looks like relevance. Better scores look like learning. The early signal rewards the system that created it. Then the second-order effects arrive. Quality starts moving into places the metric cannot easily detect. People avoid work that is valuable but hard to count. Teams become less honest because bad news threatens the number. Managers begin managing the report instead of the reality. Eventually, the metric no longer tells leaders what is happening. It tells them how well people have learned to satisfy the metric. This is the deeper cost distorted feedback. Every system needs feedback to correct itself. A pilot needs instruments. A business needs accounts. A school needs evidence of learning. But if the instrument is being bent by the incentives attached to it, the system can become confidently wrong. It receives reassuring signals while the underlying condition weakens. The same pattern appears far beyond workplaces. Cities can optimize for traffic flow and make streets worse for people. Apps can optimize for time spent and make users feel less satisfied. Institutions can optimize for compliance and lose judgment. In each case, the measured success can conceal the unmeasured loss. The practical mental model is the proxy trap. A proxy trap appears when three things line up. The real goal is hard to observe. The proxy is easy to count, and rewards are attached strongly enough that people begin serving the proxy more than the goal. The solution is not to abandon metrics. It is to treat every metric as a negotiated truth. Ask what it excludes. Ask what behavior it rewards. Ask what someone would do if they wanted the number to improve without improving the reality. Because the question behind any measurement is not simply, what does this tell us? It is, what will this make people do?